So if you ask me who is the most important person in my success, this will sound fabricated, but it's completely the truth, and that is my wife.
Well, he was ready to propose to me, but I decided I was too young to get married. And he stuck with it and used his powers of negotiation.
She might call it blackmail or coercion, or I basically said, time to decide.
About an hour later, we were officially engaged.
And 6 weeks later, we were married.
And a week later, off to business school.
I had a professor at Wharton. He told the class that we would pay a domestic price for being entrepreneurs. And I thought, no, that's not going to happen. I will be a good dad and I will be a good husband. And the truth is, I'm not sure I have been, but I've had a wife who stuck with it.
He started straight out of business school at Procter & Gamble as a brand manager at Tide.
I increasingly thought, if I'm going to work this hard, then why not do it where I feel like I'm working more for myself?
There are few people who can take an idea and make a company out of it that succeeds and employs people, and Will's one of them.
Well, I've always thought that it's ironic that Will's name is Will. He is the most willful person I know.
Some would use the word stubborn, but I think it's just that he knows what he wants and he goes after it.
And he's also able to lead and motivate other people.
From a business perspective, my success is due in large part to my partner of now a couple of decades, Eric Smith.
They had such a great balance between the two of them.
Will and I started Synergy in 1991. Will and I then started Fast in 1995, which was another home automation company. And then we started iBond together in 1998.
Which became the worldwide leader in broadband for business travelers.
North of $100 million before we left. And then we started Control4 in 2003.
He came into my office and said, I'd like to reinvent the home automation market, and to do so I need to build 35 products. I have spent my career building products, and it's very difficult to build one good product, let alone 35 that all function together.
We found ourselves in the middle of a recession. Had we not had Will at the plate swinging aggressively, we wouldn't have gotten to where we're at today.
The company grew very rapidly.
Today we have 460 employees. We have 3,700 independent businesses that center on Control4. So every morning there's the 460 of us that wake up carrying the Control4 mantra, and then another 35 to 50,000 throughout the world. It's a big engine.
August 2nd, 2013, we were able to take the company public.
The day we went public was kind of a culmination of the vision that they had many, many years ago.
You could see a deep sense of satisfaction in Will's eyes, and it was a great moment to be able to share that with him.
I could actually, it felt like for the first time, take a breath and say, oh, this is good.
There's not a much better high point than that.
People I worked with at Control4 talk about how the stock options that they had changed their lives.
Will be doing this till he's in his 80s. I don't think he'll stop.
I'm not sure what drove him to think, let's do another startup.
I'm on SilverVue's board of directors. It's a novel idea. I have every confidence it's going to be yet in a conga line of successful companies that he's developed.
We had started this company on the side with the idea of making a little bit of a difference.
Will West is one of the great entrepreneurs of Utah. Plus, he's a great contributor to the community.
There's a whole nother life of Will West that very few know.
He would work with the people from the Utah Technology Council, the Leonardo, Utah Fund of Funds, UCIC.
I mean, Will pretty much spends all of his time either at work or volunteering for something else.
He started a nonprofit at Control4 called Forethought.
And over the years, we've given over $100,000 to neighbors, members of our community who have fallen on hard times.
There's certainly things that the people watching this video will know about my dad that I don't know about my dad, because he doesn't ever toot his own horn.
I'm proud of him for what he's done. He just goes about doing good things and helping others to be the best they can be.
I consider Will a mentor because as I started the Utah Fund of Funds, I was quite young, and he took that time to spend with me, to mentor me.
He's also done tons for UTC. I mean, he spent 2 years as the chairman.
The work that Will has done for UTC has helped us to become more professional.
He's also very passionate about Utah.
He wants to see each and every aspect of the state grow.
You couldn't find somebody who represents the state more graciously.
We've had a couple companies where at some point very key top VCs like Sequoia Capital wanted to put money into our companies, but they insisted that we move to the Bay Area. And Will's always been the one that's been insistent that, no, we can build these companies in Utah and we want to build them in Utah, and if that's a condition of your money, then we don't want your money.
You know, he spends his time in things that matter to him and that have value to the community. I think the Leonardo is a great example.
Will joined the Utah Science Center board, over 10 years ago.
Salt Lake City was the largest city in the nation that didn't have some sort of technology museum being presented, and now I think we have arguably the most creative, interesting, forward-thinking technology museum in the country.
Will was our board chair, so he was the leader of the board, and I think without his sharp focus and his intelligence, I don't know that we would have been really able to manage through those tough opening years.
He has spent so much time on UTC over the years, so much time on the fund of funds.
There's no leader in the state that has done more over the past decade to change the early stage capital structure of the state than Will West.
From day one, Will West was the chairman of the Utah Fund of Funds board.
We went to the legislature and built our case. We were able to pass an impossible bill, $100 million Utah Fund of Funds, and Will led out in that.
I think Will West means thousands of jobs, millions of dollars injected into the Utah community, and thousands of hours of mentorship and leadership to hundreds and hundreds of Utah professionals, and that is priceless.
And you think of all the lives he's touched in the state of Utah alone.
Well, he's touched hundreds, probably thousands of employees, hundreds of thousands of homes, and probably millions of hotel rooms.
It's probably approaching 10,000 people have at some point been employed by one of the companies we've started together.
Oh, tremendously proud. But he doesn't want to hear it.
My success has come less from me than it has from people around me.
He's quite content to do the best he can and let everybody else have the recognition.
It's one of the loveliest things about him.
We, the industry, we, this state, need to celebrate what Will West has done.
Probably a little uncomfortable by all this, but you know, that's probably good for him too.
Will is loving every second of this. He is eating this up. No.
I think he should be proud.
Well, I can't think of a more deserving person to receive this acknowledgement.
Thank you for all you do for Utah, for healthcare, for innovation, for entrepreneurship.
Willie Lump Lump, congratulations on this wonderful award.
Grateful for your life, for the things you've accomplished.
Really excited for you, we're proud of you.
I really love you. Dad, I'm really proud of you for getting this big award.
You deserve it.
You know, I really can't imagine having a better dad.
I so much appreciate all that you've done for me, both personally and professionally.
Thank you very much for your mentorship in my career.
You've also changed my life.
Thank you again for mentoring me and being part of the Utah Fund of Funds.
It's an honor for us to pay tribute to you this evening.
Couldn't happen to a nicer and more deserving person.
You have been an inspiration to me, and I personally feel so honored to have worked with you over all these years.
And it's an even better pleasure to get to call you my friend. Congratulations, incredibly well deserved.
You deserve it more than anyone I know.
Congratulations, Will.